1 week ago, the Bahamas came to a standstill as our men's 4x4 team competed at the London Olympics. Even Managing Director at Scotiabank, Mr. Kevin Teslick, was absorbed and involved in the moment. He spoke about it yesterday as he presented the team with some of the gifts for the team for the whole race, just starting to sink in when they were looking at their accomplishments.
Boy, were you guys ready. You guys were ready and then some. You did a phenomenal job. On Friday, I was running to see if I could get an update in terms of when the heats were going to begin. And the phone rang, it was the governor. So duty calls. I took a call from the governor, we had a chat. And I think we were 3/4 through a conversation, and then we heard this eruption. And the building shook here. The building shook. And the governor and I were trying to figure out whether the screaming was coming from her end of the phone or my end of the phone. It was from both ends of the phone. And that's when we both recognized what you all, the four of you, the awesome foursome had achieved on behalf of the country. So on behalf of Scotiabank, one of your partners, we're glad just to have had a small part in your preparation and your contribution to what you've given back to the country.
Just 1 week removed from their actual performance, the team of Chris Brown, Michael Matthew, Demetrius Pinder, and Ramon Miller said they still don't realize exactly what they've done.
We'd like to just thank the Lord for blessing us and giving us this tremendous talent. It's been a long journey for us. We have Freeport, Eleuthera, and New Providence in the building, and you know we had to come from 3 different parts just to get this job done. United States is a big country. They've been reigning for #1 for a long time. With the help of the fans and the prayers, you know, God answers prayers.
The gold medal excitement it's still inside of us, so we're not feeling it right now. We saw a crash later, so it ain't hit us good yet. But we just moving and just doing it for the fans, you know. It ain't about us right now. We did our part, so just want to make the Bahamian people happy, and that's what we're doing.
Of Team Bahamas at the 2012 London Games. Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, says they are already putting things in place for a better showing in Rio in 2006. Charles Fisher tells us more.
No doubt about it, there are hidden talent in the Bahamas just waiting to be discovered. And that's the goal of the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, to leave nothing out there to chance.
I'm going to commit my government to working with the Olympic Association, with the Athletic Association, in a specific way to ensure that we give the best opportunity to those 14 and 15-year-olds who are out there. With what we now know to be talent that can be produced for Brazil.
And upgrading the facilities and making things better for our athletes is a must.
To be able to ensure that we create centers of excellence as we promised in our own platform to do. But centers of excellence which will be calculated to develop the sporting prowess of our youth in this country to the point where I am absolutely certain, okay, that we will be able to have and produce in this period of 4 years athletes with the potential to make the Olympic team that will represent us in Brazil.
And according to the Prime Minister, the performance of the 2012 Olympic team gives him no choice but to put things in place.
Grand Bahama, Exuma, Andros, these places where we are going to create centers of excellence over a period of time, the government ought to ensure that the young people of the Bahamas are able to feel you and see you and touch you.
For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Fisher, thanks a lot. Remember, this weekend is a big weekend for them. They've got a lot going on, some notable things that you should notice. They are going to be going to church on Saturday and on Sunday. And then also on Saturday, they have the big parade that starts at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium at 2 o'clock, and it goes throughout Nassau. So make sure, line the streets as the team, they go through Nassau and show off those gold medals to everybody here in the capital. They'll also be making trips next week to Eleuthera and, of course, Grand Bahama as well. Moving on now, some golf news. The College of the Bahamas Alumni Association will be taking to the Bahamas Golf Federation's driving range, all in an effort to raise some much-needed funds. Alumni Chairman Troy Strawn explains exactly what will happen this Sunday.
Where we're going to be testing out various skills, the best chipping skills, the longest drive, the best sand trap challenge, and there's one more challenge. Right, and the best putting challenge. It's an opportunity for alumni, the wider Bahamian society, to come out and help support the COB Alumni Society. This particular first annual event is to raise funds for the Keva Bethel Memorial series and fund that COB has just established, as well as we're trying to raise funds to establish a new science workstation at the college.
On to some softball news now. Stephen Bishop-Benaby is all about developing softball talent at the junior level. Recently, he took a group of girls to the North Carolina and a tournament there. He spoke to our Julian Gibson about the exposure they actually received there.
We didn't go there to win because it being a showcase and the girls paid their own trip. We went there to show off the talent we have in the Bahamas and to try to secure some scholarships. We were successful in that venture. We were able to get a commitment for at least 5 of the girls. Now, they may not be able to get straight for August, but definitely by December, once they get all their grades and stuff into the dean of the school, they'll be able to attend college. And that was the trip was all about.
You talk about these girls getting the necessary exposure. I guess this was a golden opportunity for a number of these girls.
It is, because one of the things we found out is we don't play sufficient games. In the high schools now, they play about 5 games, and that's considered a season. In NPS, we play about 15 games, and that's a season. That's 20 games. We talked with some of the coaches who had an opportunity to talk to me. They said they play 20 games in 2 weeks. And therefore the caliber of play that they play on the fields, we don't. For the simple reason that we don't have the opportunity to play that. So that's why we came up with the program at JBLN. And at JBLN, we play 15 to 20 games a season. So if we add all the games up, then the girls may be able to get about 40 to 50 games every year. What we intend to do at JBLN is increase the amount of games we play this year. And as many of the showcases that we can get the girls to go to, we're going to do it.
What's up next for these girls? I know it's a continuous program, it's a continuous effort for you.
Well, we're trying to make a trip during the October 12th weekend in Orlando. And there's 3 of the girls who are on the team, 2 of the sisters. They went back to Orlando, they live in Orlando. They've already got in contact with us and tell us that the school would like for us to come up. They're going to host a tournament up there. And we're trying to work towards getting us there. I spoke with one of the coaches at Methodist College today. He's interested in bringing his team down for about 9 days during the December break. They'd like to bring a team down here to participate in the tournament. And that's the way we're going to reciprocate. What we want to do is get the girls playing as much softball as possible. And through that, they may be able to gain an education.
All right, that's our Julian Gibson. That'll do it for sports. I'm Chris Saunders. Your final look at weather is still to come.